Jay-Z here to go over the Hidden Wild curriculum, Lesson 3, Waterways and Human Impact. First off, you have your lesson plan that's going to tell you the benchmarks that's highlighted within the lesson, your nature of science benchmarks, your lesson objective, pertinent vocabulary, inquiry questions, statement of student mastery, and of course the lesson summary. And it is broken down in the 5E model. So for the engage portion, you're going to have the Hidden Wild video short, which is linked right here. You also have some background knowledge about the Lake Worth Lagoon and the Loxahatchee River. And while the students are watching the video short, there are some discussion points that you can have with your class, as well as a 3-2-1 reflection handout. As you can see, while the students are watching the video, they can have a reflection on 3 things they learned, 2 interesting facts, and 1 question they still have. It goes over all of the instructions and tells you the recommended procedures. Next is the Explore section. This is where the students will research and evaluate the development of the Loxahatchee River over time. First, you're going to start off with a Google time lapse of the Loxahatchee River, and it's going to show the development changes from 1984, I believe, up until 2020. While your students view that, you're also going to have a data set and a CER handout, or a claim evidence reasoning. The data sets have screenshots of the development over time, and then it also has a map of the Loxahatchee River, the vegetation over time, drainage basins, and threatened and endangered species. The students will use these data sets to complete the CER handout, which is displaying now. You can see that there are discussion questions that the students will analyze while they go over the data, and then a space provided for their claim, the evidence from the data provided, and the reasoning to support their data. Again, it will have all the instructions that the teacher needs to implement this within the classroom. The next section is the Explain. This is where students will go on a virtual tour of the river and learn the importance of the ecosystem. So there will be 2 sites that you will access for this section. You will have the Loxahatchee River Tour website, which is a map that is interactive with different points of interest along the Loxahatchee River. And you also have a worksheet to accompany that. So the students are kind of going on a virtual tour of the river, and while they do this, they're going to be learning about statistics of the river, major habitats, threatened species, endangered species, common species. You have screenshot instructions, and then this is kind of like their summary pages that they will write over the different areas of interest. Next is the Elaborate section. This is a case study that is analyzing urbanization and waterways. What's going to happen with this is that the students will gain knowledge about the pros and cons of the urbanization and debate the outcome of a hypothetical development on the Loxahatchee River. There is a presentation provided with all the details about the case study site, as well as discussion questions, and a map of the proposed site along the Loxahatchee River. You will also have a case study handout. This case study handout is going to include all of the information from the slides, as well as the roll cards that need to be distributed to the different groups within the class, which include a business owner, city council member, nature enthusiast, and environmental scientist. And then after you review the case study information, the students as a group will draft a short paragraph. using these following questions to guide their decision on whether or not the land should be developed for a growth along the Loxahatchee River. Again, all the pertinent information. And then finally, we conclude our 5E exploration with the evaluate section. So this is where the students will create an infographic on how to plan conscientious development to reduce the risk of human development. So this is where the students are going to create an infographic, as you can see from this hyperlink here. And what it's going to do is going to give them step-by-step instructions on how to create this infographic or poster. Again, this can be composed on a computer or hand-drawn, and it has information that they must include within the poster. They will present this to their class, and then you can have voting on the best one and even implement it around your school if needed. Included with this is a rubric that shows you how to evaluate the infographic. As always, it always has step-by-step instructions, what you will need, preparation, and then the source data at the end if you want to explore more in depth about any of the resources used to build this lesson at your leisure. Thank you for allowing me to explain to you the third lesson of the Hidden Wild curriculum, Waterways and Human Impact.